Are you willing to go to prison?
I definitely don't like prison. I've been there numerous times. It is not fun. But if that's what it costs for us to get our freedom, then so be it.
Wow.
I am a wanted man. The military is looking for me. My friends and colleagues and fellow leaders are being raided. Members of parliament are being raided. There's an order by the Chief of Defense Forces, who is Museveni's son, to deliver me to him, dead or alive. He has been warning to harm me, and the latest warning came in just a few hours ago when he said this is not just a matter of tweets. So I fear for my life.
Now, some people are saying that, you know, you can't be on the run forever. So now is the time for dialogue with Museveni, and possibly even with his son, the general who is in charge of the army. Well, what do you say to that?
You cannot negotiate with somebody that has their boot on your neck and saying, okay, negotiate. Only free people negotiate. That is where meaningful dialogue is.
Mic drop.
I'm on the run because I want to at least postpone my execution as far away as I can.
That's really sad. I want to postpone my execution as far away as I can. And here we go again. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from wherever you're watching me, and at whatever time you might watch this conversation. My name is Mordecai Morisa, and you're welcome to Mordecai Morisa Live. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of things going on in Uganda, so if I miss on one of those events, please be patient with me, be kind with me, understand that I cannot cover, I cannot cover it all. And I know you go and consume this content from other platforms, which I truly appreciate, because I would want our people to stay informed. Okay, this was an interview. Channel 4 News had an interview with Kyagulanyi Ssentamu Robert, the duly elected president of Uganda, who was cheated of his victory by none other than the criminal tyrant, dictator Yoweri Museveni. Bobi Wine, as he's commonly referred to, again, explained further why he continues to evade the military operation. He says, this is going to break your heart. He says, I'm trying to postpone my execution. These are, don't just take these words as hyperbole or exaggeration. Absolutely not. Muhoozi Kainerugaba, who posted photos of Eddie Mutwe tortured, all bruised, naked, and gloated about how he had him tortured, is the same guy who says, I want him killed. As we are talking about people who were killed during the 2026 elections, we have Muhoozi Kainerugaba posting on his social media platform saying, hey, we killed 22. I'm wanting Bobi Wine to be the 23rd. So don't take these to be mere jokes. Now, Channel 4 News, there's a wonderful, wonderful reporter. Her name is Lindsay Hilsam. Amazing reporter. I think she's been covering Museveni since the early 1980s, and I'm going to show you a clip where she interviewed Bobi Wine. Amazing. I want you to listen to this interview.
Today in Kampala, they tried to hold a mass for Dr. Kizza Besigye, one of Uganda's imprisoned opposition leaders, and carried on even when told that the service had been cancelled by order of the government. 6 weeks after President Museveni was returned to power in an election marred by violence.
Listen to the framing of this wonderful lady. She's amazing. 6 weeks after Museveni was returned to power in an election that was marred with violence, she's trying to communicate to you something. I love it. Listen here.
By order of the government.
Listen here. She tells you the government orders the cancellation of a mass to pray for Museveni's political opponent, Kizza Besigye. And then she tells you about the 2026 election. Oh boy.
6 weeks after President Museveni was returned to power.
Returned to power by who? She's telling you something. By the military, by the gun.
In an election marred by violence and intimidation, Uganda remains in crisis. The main opposition candidate, Bobi Wine,
Uganda remains in crisis. Remember, Museveni declared himself as a victor in the election with 71%. Why would a country that has a president that is this popular, 71% of the populace want him to be in power? But the country is in crisis. Contradictions.
claims the poll was rigged, was not in church today because he's on the run. He spoke to me from an undisclosed location.
I am a wanted man. The military is looking for me. My friends and colleagues and fellow leaders are being raided. Members of parliament are being raided. There's an order by the Chief of Defense Forces, who is Museveni's son, to deliver me to him, dead or alive. He has been warning to harm me, and the latest warning came in just a few hours ago when he said this is not just a matter of tweets. So I fear for my life.
Mm-hmm.
But what the Ugandan authorities say is, come on, you lost the election, you should just accept that and move on.
The military, they raided my home, they tortured my wife, humiliated her, stripped her naked, they assaulted all my people that were at home, and up to now they're occupying my home.
Now, some people are saying that, you know, you can't be on the run forever. So now is the time for dialogue with Museveni, and possibly even with his son, the general who is in charge of the army. Well, what do you say to that?
You cannot negotiate with somebody that has their boot on your neck and saying, okay, negotiate. Only free people negotiate. That is where meaningful dialogue is.
Mic drop. You cannot negotiate with somebody who's got a boot on your neck and they're saying, oh, you should negotiate with me. I mean, and we have these people who are pushing for these negotiations. Negotiations about what? People have been abducted, tortured, killed. Family is going to be given back the people that were killed. What are you going to explain to the families whose people were disappeared? What are these negotiations going to be like? Museveni doesn't believe in negotiations. Like he doesn't believe in any sort of. There was that PR apology he made to the people of Uganda. To the apologists of the regime, said, "Oh, Museveni, listen to us. Look at Museveni. Oh, he's apologizing to the people of Uganda." The following day, he was abducting and torturing the people he had apologized for. That's a joke.
At a military ceremony earlier this month, President Museveni, wearing hat and mask, awarded his son, General Muhoozi Kainerugaba.
Again, Museveni wearing a hat and a mask awarded his son Muhoozi Kainerugaba. Listen, look at that comedy. A man who lives in a state of paranoia is afraid of everything. You might think that we still have COVID in Uganda. He doesn't take photos with any person or shake hands with any person. He's afraid. And then he wants his son to be his heir. Come on.
Chief of Defense Forces, a medal. A few days after the election, the general, who is seen as his father's heir apparent, boasted on Twitter or X of killing 22 of Bobi Wine's supporters and hoping he would be the 23rd. More recently, the general has turned his attention elsewhere, saying that the people of the UK should stop treating Prince Andrew like a leper. But the opposition leader believes the threat to him remains.
I'm on the run because I want to at least postpone my execution as far away as I can.
That's really sad. I want to postpone my execution as far away as I can. Look, people who will be here in 100 years or 200 years from now, and I'm talking about at a time when our country has really left this oppression behind, when it is looked at as a history of the past, myth, people will be like, was this real? Where a political opponent has to flee and hide from his opponent, the incumbent. The opponent's crime is because he contested in an election. People won't believe, and I'm so glad for internet. I think if there's a thing I'm really appreciative for internet, grateful for when it comes to the internet, is keeping proof, keeping record for all these things.
But I've said it before, that at the right time, I will show up in Uganda for the regime to do whatever they want to do to me. But before then, I want to make sure that I have adequately communicated my plight and the plight of fellow Ugandans to the world.
Are you willing to go to prison?
I definitely don't like prison. I've been there numerous times. It is not fun. But if that's what it costs for us to get our freedom, then so be it.
Wow. Exactly.
Outside the church in Kampala, activists sang for the freedom of one imprisoned political leader, while another contemplates prison, exile, or a life on the run.
Oh my God. Listen to that, ladies. The summary of the story. One political leader is in prison because he contests against Museveni. Another one is on the run. He's risking exile or even death. Take all the time you have to think about that, ladies and gentlemen. But you still have apologists of the regime in Kampala who think Museveni is a very good... if there's a group of people who really drank the Kool-Aid, these are Museveni supporters. I've not met many of them, except those that are wanting to get money and proximity to power and wealth, materialistic stuff. But besides that, I've not seen a reasonable human being that supports Museveni. I mean, there would be something wrong with you. Definitely. Either you're deluded, you're fearful, you have been indoctrinated. There should be something. I mean, how do you see the abduction, the killing of innocent people, the disappearances of people who have not committed any crime? Even if actually they committed crimes, you're not supposed to disappear any person. The corruption, the levels of corruption, thievery in Uganda, the lawlessness and impunity of Museveni's men, who are, all they do is shield the regime, and that gives them blanket immunity to commit any sorts of crimes. And you're going to support that? A failed education system and healthcare system? These are continued firm grip on power? The consolidation of power at all costs? Unless there's something wrong with you. Anyways, telling you about that wonderful lady, Lindsay Hilsam. Here, she was explaining about Museveni. Listen to how she's studied Museveni, and I like when she describes him as for what he is. Listen.
Well, Yoweri Museveni, it was the 7th time he stood for election. He's 81 years old now.
She has to mention he's 81 years old.
I first met him in 1986 when he was a rebel leader, where he told me that the problem with Africa was leaders who stayed in power for too long. Well, you can take that as you will.
You can take that as you will. Or if he said the problem of Africa, leaders who overstay in power or in power for too long, you can take that as you will, because he's been in power now for 40 years. You can take that as you will. He's trying to say Museveni is a lying, opportunistic charlatan.
Bobi Wine, who is the main opposition leader, who claims there was rigging and that he did much better than the official results show, he fled after his house was attacked by paramilitaries, security forces, not quite clear who, last night. I spoke to him in hiding this morning. I asked him what his plan was. He said, my plan is to stay alive. And that means keeping out of the way of Muhoozi. Muhoozi is President Museveni's son. He's the head of the army. He has threatened to kill Bobi Wine in the past. This is not a story which has been getting a lot of attention, even though I think it is very critical because of Venezuela, because of Iran, because of Greenland. But let's not take our eyes off it.
I mean, here, some heroes don't wear caps, and she's one of them. She says, hey, there's been a lot of attention that's been given to Venezuela, to Iran, and other countries. Don't take your eyes off Uganda. Now, if things change in Uganda, remember her name. She's Lindsay Hilsam. She's speaking to the world and telling them, do not take your eyes off Uganda. People are being killed, abducted, tortured. Do not take. And she continues to do an amazing job. Lastly, I want to show you here when she really got Museveni cornered. Museveni was trying to play this game of unsolicited lectures he usually offers to people and complete lies. She was like, hey, you're not getting away with murder. I want you to explain all your baseless claims. Listen here when Museveni was trying to say, Bobi Wine is being funded by the West. Listen, she's like, who are those people?
Because he's not ideological, and he's being manipulated by...
Okay, again, I'm sorry for pausing here. Bobi Wine is not ideological. I saw some guy, I think in Nigeria, he was writing, his diatribe to that effect. Bobi Wine is not ideological. If Museveni claims to be ideological, please, I pity. Do not even get me close to that ideological identity of Museveni. What ideological identity that makes you keep your people in poverty? What ideological preference or identity that makes you boast in the killing, abducting, and torturing of innocent people? What ideological identity that makes you protect those that steal from, that plunder the nation, that steal from the coffers of a country? Don't tell me about ideological identity. Of what importance it is if you want respect basic human rights.
So many groups, so many, especially foreigners.
Oh, which foreigners?
Which foreigners are supporting Bobi Wine? Okay.
All sorts of... We monitor them.
We monitor them. Who? Mention one.
Tell me, I didn't know there were foreigners manipulating Uganda's elections.
Tell me, listen to the meltdown here. Listen, look at his face.
Bobi Wine in particular is an agent of foreign interests.
Who is the question?
But the social group, the youth.
Who is the question?
Who feel marginalized. That's a healthy internal force which we are working with.
The group, the youth who feel marginalized, those are healthy internal group which we are working with. When he was this healthy group that felt marginalized in the 1980s, do you know what he did? He went and got guns and went to the bush and fought. But he wants the people who feel disenfranchised to work with him. Oh, come on, give me a break.
For the youth group who
okay.
are serious, who are not part of the foreign
again.
Who are these foreigners? Tell me.
Who are these foreigners, Museveni? He's bringing it again.
From the country. I don't know who these foreigners are.
There are so many. There are so many. Because you see the foreigners.
Hey! There are so many. There are so many. Because you see, mention one.
Especially the Europeans.
Especially the Europeans. That's where I asked. Are you referring to Moldova, Serbia? Are you referring to Finland? Are you referring to Czech Republic? The Welsh people? The Danish people? The Dutch? When you say, especially the Europeans, what are you referring to, dude? It's like saying Donald Trump is being funded by the Africans, and I'm like, what? No. Black people are supporting Bobi Wine. I'm like, what black people? You say, you saw, and then I go like, those Africans. Okay, Africa has over how many countries?
They're full of arrogance.
Then he goes into insults again. He went into, they usually pull out this card of, let me show you that I protect what they refer to as African values. Museveni has always, hailed as a protector, African values enthusiast. Listen.
In the West. And
what's going on?
They get quite a lot of encouragement from the foreigners, from the homosexuals, from I don't know what.
What have the homosexuals got to do with it?
Oh, they are very happy.
There's no proof for this. He just continues. He looks for these things that got people. He knows that he cannot appeal to the people logically or reasonably, so he resorts to emotions. What I call emotional junk food. Oh, let me tell you. Let me pull out those words that are going to threaten you, because homosexuals are this kind of people that I've told you are very dangerous, according to Museveni. Sad. He's a liar, a complete charlatan. And it's very sad. That shouldn't be a role model for any person in Uganda. And I know there's a lot of people surrounding him telling him, oh, you are a liberator. You are this. No, you're not. No, you're not. Every vice that made you launch a war against Obote and let Ron Tito Okello Lutwa is happening in Uganda. So it was a complete waste of time. An exercise in futility. We lost over 500,000 people for nothing. Go read the 10-point program of the NRM and start grading Museveni. Says, okay, we are launching this war. That document that was published in 1984. Oh, we are launching this war because these are the points, 10-point program. They don't care. Nothing. It was a veneer, a facade. But I know, in the end, this dark chapter will come to a close. And a new, beautiful chapter will open. The Ugandan people will rebuild their country. Patriots will rise up and take back their country. But I hope you have an epiphany, Museveni. I hope you realize that you abused this country. And I pray that someday it happens. I'm not losing hope. Someday it will. All right. My name is Mordecai Murisa. Please stick around. I'll be back soon, okay? Like I said, if I miss out on some things, just know I might be caught up somewhere. I'm on my job, my official job. Hey, and I want to ask you something before I go, actually. If you're able to do this, please, I opened up memberships. If you want to go on and check, tap in memberships, become a member on this channel. You can support me by paying like $2.99 a month. If you're there watching me and saying, hey, Mordecai, we love you, show me your love by becoming a member on this channel. Check the YouTube membership button, check, and then become a member for this channel. You might be the first one. I don't have any member for now. You might become the first one to become a member on Mordecai Murisa Live. So if you do, I'll read your name and say thank you in the next video. All right. See you. My name is Mordecai Murisa. Bye-bye for now.
Did you enjoy what you just watched?
I'm sure they did.
I'm going to guess that you did. How about you consider subscribing to Mordecai Murisa Live YouTube channel? Thank you.